Assalamu alaikum. So this lesson on business, going to start from the business activity. So business activity. So before I move on the business activity, let me start by introducing what's business. Business, like business. Is a business and business activity. What's business? Business is just an organization. Organization of providing goods and services. Business, the general term, the word itself, business, just refers to the organization of providing goods and services. So examples of business, you have seen them. We have got the Mama Boga, that's a business of its own. Mama Boga. There is one for warehouse, supermarket. All those you see where there is a good provided and there is a service given. That's what you mean by business. Like a business is an organization of providing goods and services. Now, what's this thing provided? The good. Like what's the good and what's the service? So a good is a tangible commodity, and a service is intangible. Are you saying that? Like a good is a tangible. When I say tangible, something that can be felt. I'm saying that. And also service, they are intangible. Like, for example, let me break this one. Okay, let me use tangible. And the service is intangible. Okay, a good and service. Example of a good, here we can say like soap, clothes, food, iron sheets. I'm saying that something that you can feel, a soap you can handle, clothes you can handle, food you can handle, and also the iron sheet. That's what I mean by a good. What do I mean by service? Service is something which is intangible. For example, banking service, tourism, transportation, and maybe hairdressing. I was saying this. So a good business is the organization of providing goods and services. So goods are tangible commodities. Services, they are intangible offered. For example, banking, tourism, transport, hairdressing. Goods are soap, clothes, food, iron sheets, shoes. Those are what you mean by goods. And these are services. Now, let me come to what's a business activity. Business activity. Business activity. Business activity, it refers to combining factors of production to provide goods and services. I say that business activity, it refers to combining factors of production to provide goods and services to consumers. Business is an organization of providing goods and services. Goods, they are intangible. Services, they are intangible. We have said an example of a good is a soap, clothes, food, iron sheets, shoes, flowers, etc. Services, the example are banking, tourism, transport, hairdressing, etc. Are you seeing that? Now, business activity. It refers to combining factors. Are you saying this? Factors of production to provide goods and services. Not only that, unlike here in a business, to consumers. Are you saying? So, what are the factors of production? Factors of production. Under factors of production, we have land, we have got labor, we have land, also we have capital. I think that we have got labor, land, capital, and also entrepreneur. So we have got labor, land, capital, and entrepreneur. So what's labor? Labor is just the human effort. The human effort used in production. So the human effort used in production. What's the effort? The effort applied can be either physical or mental. Brain. By use of brain. Factors of production, they are labor, land, capital, and entrepreneur. So on labor here, they are 1, 2, 3, 4. Labor is the human effort used in production. It can be either in physical or mental by use of the brain. I think that land refers to the raw materials used in production. I say this, the land, they are raw materials used in production. Example is oil, mineral, or etc. They are the raw materials used in production. An example here is oil, mineral, or those are what we call the land under factor of production. The raw materials used in production. Capital is the desire for starting a business into brackets, the finance. For you to start a business, you need to have a capital. To set up a business, you need to have a capital. The entrepreneur is the person. Person interest. Person interest in business. Those are the 4 factors of production. So business is an organization of providing goods and services to the consumers. Goods, they are tangible, while services, they are intangible. Example of a good is a soap. We have got clothes. We also have got food and iron sheet. Under service, we have got banking, we have tourism, transport, and hairdressing, etc. We have so many examples, just to mention but a few. So, on business activity, it refers to the combining factors of production to provide goods and services to consumers. So, we have said the factors of production, they are labor, land, capital, entrepreneurship. So labor is the human effort used in production, which can either be physical or can be mental. Physical, you have to use your body energy. Of course, when mental, you also have to use your energy, but mental deals with brain. Computer, maybe like solving a equation, tracing, sketching, mental effort. Physical, like you're lifting up things, operating a machine. You see that? Yeah. Land, they are the raw materials used in production. For example, oil, minerals. Yeah. Capital is the desire for starting a business, and entrepreneur is a person interested in business. Are you together? So I've got this until we are okay. Now, let's talk about specialization and division of labor. Specialization and division of labor. Specialization. Specialization. Division of labor. Let me use an example of race cars, Lamborghini, and also the BMW. Ferrari. Yeah. So, for example, of a Mercedes Benz, you know the car logo, itself. The history, the way they said it, Mercedes Benz, they wanted to conquer, like, this is for air transport, this one is for water, and this one is for land. Now we have got 4 types of different types of transport form. We have got the land transport, air transport, water transport, railway, line transport, transport. So initially Mercedes wanted to cover all of this, but they were not good at railway transport. So they had to venture into air transport, land transport, that's vehicles, and also water transport. So they stopped railway because they were not good at this one. Also, they gave a price to the Ferrari. The Ferrari, initially this company was made to manufacture tractors, but they had to quit using tractors and move to manufacturing supercars because they were not good at manufacturing tractors. Why am I bringing this as an example? Because of specialization and division of labor. Also, residuals, they are good at making car engines. Not just car engines, aircraft engines. So I've seen a lot, like the Boeing residuals that they are good at making, but they specialize at manufacturing of engines. Because there's an history like they failed in manufacture of body and the other body parts. So, specialization and division of labor. Before I give you the definition, let me explain now division of labor. Use this one as a practical. You are an engineer student, engineer student. So you are on your maybe a degree for engineering studies. Someone can ask, why is this lecturer teaching me on how to be an engineer, yet himself is not an engineer? Such are the questions some ask themselves, like, why is this teacher teaching me business rather than him being a brilliant business guy? I'm saying that, or a certain lecturer at the university is teaching you on how to be a doctor, but why is the lecturer not a doctor? I'm saying, such are the questions some of the pupils or some learners or some people do ask themselves. On engineer students at the university level, let's say this student is doing 5 units. Why is this lecturer not an engineer? The lecturer who is teaching her, I don't know, maybe psychology. Why is he not a psychologist? Something like that. There is a division of labor, the 5 units. There is that lecturer who knows something about only this part. There is that lecturer who knows about a certain unit. You know, these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are different units. So there is that lecturer who knows more about this one, but doesn't know anything about all these other units. That's why he's not an engineer. There's also another lecturer here who knows about a specific part in engineering part only, but doesn't know all this for him to become an engineer. Are you saying that? That's how the division of labor comes in. Like, you are best. Being best at the being best in a specific locality. Division of labor, being best in a specific locality. specialization of labor, division of labor and specialization of labor. So, in specialization, living area is just living area, living and other factors of living area, production factors to perform the one you are best at. Division of labor being based in a specific locality. Okay? That's all about specialization and division of labor. I've given you an example of the example of BMW, Ferrari, BMW, Ferrari, and the rest ones as an example. Why the Ferrari stopped manufacturing tractors, and started manufacturing super fast cars. Also restaurants, why they specialized more on manufacturing engines. And the Benz, why they conquered only on air, water, and road. Transport. So I've given you that as an example. So let's move to the next part, which is stock holders. Stakeholders. No, there's a difference between the entrepreneur and stock holders. Entrepreneur is a person who takes risk to start a business. Entrepreneur, person who takes risk, person who takes risk to start a business. Stakeholders, they are those people who identify market gap, that's a niche, identify niche, start a business, they identify a niche, arrange factors of production before and start what? And start a business. Entrepreneur is a person who takes risk to start a business. A stakeholder is those people who identify a market gap, niche, arrange factors of production, and start a business. So, example of an entrepreneur, here we can say maybe the Cafe joints, cafe, coffee joints, springs, etc. Stakeholder, here we can say an example, they can say like Devki, the equity, we also have got the Mombasa cables, maybe East African cables, the East African cables. I think that we have also the Mama Mboga can be an entrepreneur. Mama Mboga. I mean the grocery. Person who takes risk to start a business is an entrepreneur. Stakeholder is a person who identifies a market gap, arrange the factors of production, land, capital, labor, and start a business. An example here I can give you is Deviki, because Deviki for steel millers, the Bambori cement, Equity Bank, the East African cables. Those are examples of stakeholders. Are you together? So now let me break down the stakeholder cycle. Stakeholders. So under stakeholders, we have the owners, we have got owners, consumers, we have got the employees, we have got the managers, financial, the suppliers, the local community, and the government. We have the government, local community, suppliers, the financials, the managers, the employers, and the consumers. So, who are the owners? Owners are the people who own the business. Organize factors of production. They are in control of the business. Consumers are those people receiving the services and goods. Those who receive the goods, services, and goods. The employees are those people working for the owners. You know, also under employees, they expect in the service, they expect in them like a favorable working environment, a good income, maybe a promotion when awarding them. Also, the managers, they are the ones who are controlling the whole business. They are responsible for employing new staff, new employees. They are responsible for managing the finance. All the activities in the business is managed by the manager. So now we have got the production manager, the unit manager. Here we have got production manager. We have got the unit manager. We have also the finance manager. They are responsible for all the risks in the whole business. The financials here are those people paying the business. For example, you have got a land, you are having some, it's a good place, maybe you want to set up plots for people to rent out. Some financials may come in and like they can come in and say maybe we are going to construct a 12-story building, 12-story. Then they take maybe 2 floors, then the remaining 8 they give it to you for a certain grace period. I think that suppliers, they are the ones who are supplying goods to the company, to stakeholders. I need to have a good favorable link between the suppliers and the stakeholders. The local community are those supplying goods to the business. The local community comes in when the people who are working for the business, maybe the cleaners, sweepers, the watchmen, maybe the cleaners, the watchmen. Those are the kind of stakeholders coming. The government is responsible for giving out license, the business permit. For instance, you have seen so many, like all the commodities we use here. I've seen there's a certain logo written Caps. Caps is responsible for testing if the goods are standard before reaching the market. So the work of the government is like ensures the consumer protection, issuing about license, Kenya, like a business permit. The Kenya Bureau of Standards, the KIPS, Kenya Bureau of Standards. So many like all the commodities, like if I look here, it's having a KIPS logo. Every commodity has to pass through Kenya Bureau of Standards. That's the work of the government. Also, the owners are now the ones owning the whole business. Consumers are those having services and goods. Employees here, they like testing here a lot. No, employees need to have a good protection, security protection for maybe there's some arrogant consumers. You need to protect the work of either the owner or the manager to ensure there's a favorable working condition for employees. The financials have said they are those people who aid business or promote business. They also test here a lot. And also the role of a manager. Because we have got different we have the production manager, we have the unit manager, we have the finance manager. They may test you in a 5 mark. What's the work of managers? For instance, managers are responsible for controlling all the finance, all the risks in businesses. That's their work. So you have to look at this one also. So until then, I can give it a break. That's it for today on stakeholder. Thank you.